right, a lot of what came up tonight seemed to be a rehash of what we discussed in the first debate. But going into the debate, the feeling was that in light of recent comments by Governor Palin, we're going to be talking about William Ayers tonight. Now, let me ask you a question. How can you fight terrorism when you give speeches with, you sit on a board with, Axelrod says you're friendly with, and you never speak out against William Ayers?
See, you had me right up until the last one.
Wait. He did blurb his book, you know. No. Barack Obama did blurb Ayers' book.
But let's do this. Do you think so? You think he's guilty by association, right?
No, I, Sean Hannity. Here's my answer. Would never sit on a board with a guy that bombed our Pentagon or our Capitol. And I want to know. Wait. Why does Barack Obama sit on a board with? Why did he stay, knowing his past? Why did he be friends with him?
What William Ayers did was deplorable, and when he did it, Barack Obama was aided. And Barack Obama said it was a deplorable act.
Then why would he sit on a? Why would you sit on a board? Would you sit on a board that a guy that bombed the Pentagon and wasn't sorry about it?
He sat on a charitable board, and a board funded by a conservative Republican and a friend of Ronald Reagan.
Was that poor judgment?
That was Walter Annenberg.
Was that poor judgment on Obama's part? I don't think that was
poor judgment at all. I think what Barack Obama's done throughout his career is talk about the big issues that are important to him.
All right, you give me spin now. I'm asking you.
Let me ask you one question.
All right, you ask me a question.
Okay. Are you anti-Semitic?
Not at all.
Okay. On your show on Sunday, you're the show that's named after you, right? The centerpiece of that show was a guy named Andy Martin.
I know you're reading your talking points.
No, I don't have talking points.
When I interviewed, hang on, I'm going to answer your question. When I interviewed Malik Shabazz, when I interviewed Al Sharpton, when I interviewed all these controversial figures, you see on Fox, we actually interview people of all points of view, whether we agree or disagree. So the statement you're about to read,
Andy Martin called the judge a crooked, slimy Jew who has a history of lying and thieving common to members of his race. Martin went on to write that he understood better why the Holocaust took place, given that Jew survivors are operating as a wolf pack.
I find those comments despicable. But wait a minute.
Put him on your show.
We put Malik Shabazz on the show. I put Khalid Muhammad on my show.
Why am I not to believe that you're anti-Semitic? Why am I not to believe that everybody that works for the network is anti-Semitic? Because Sean Hannity gives a platform to somebody who thinks Jews are
I'm a journalist who interviews people that I disagree with all the time. They give their opinion. Fox has all points of view. We're allowing you on the program, and I don't agree with hardly anything Obama says. So here's I'm going to answer.
I really wish you wouldn't give a platform to virulent anti-Semites.
I will tell you this.
Even get a law license
I'll make a deal with you. If Barack Obama admits that what he did by sitting on a board with, giving speeches with, going over to Ayers' house.
You'll admit you're anti-Semitic?
No. I will admit to you that I will tell you that Barack Obama wants to be president. It's poor judgment. It is irresponsible and it's reckless to be. Let me finish. To be friends with a guy that bombed our Pentagon, was at war with our country, whose motto was to kill our children and kill your parents.
Well, I think it's deplorable.
And it's deplorable that your candidate for president has not been honest with the American people.
And understands the Holocaust better.
I'm explaining. Let me finish first.
Because of the way he
I'm explaining to you.
I can't believe you would give a platform.
So you don't want me to interview anybody that I agree with? I can interview only people you disagree with.
Put your whole show around him, Sean.
Barack Obama.
I'm led to believe only that you agree with each and everything that Andy Martin
says. Barack Obama, the president, sat in the pew of Jeremiah Wright for 20 years, a guy who hates America. Barack Obama's friends with William Flager. I have one last question. Did Barack Obama ever sit and meet with Louis Farrakhan? Has he ever met with Louis Farrakhan?
I don't know the answer to that.
Will you give us an answer by tomorrow?
Will you get back to me on whether you're anti-Semitic?
I'm not anti-Semitic. I'm the biggest supporter of Israel. Benjamin Netanyahu blurbed my book.
Let me say, I don't think your Jewish viewers are going to take it very well that you put somebody like that on your show.
I am the biggest supporter of Israel, and I've got a 30-year history on the record.
Well, ask some of their friends about what Andy Martin said.
I'm not friends with the guy that bombed the Pentagon. I'm not friends with the guy that bombed the Capitol.
You're friends with somebody who's
your candidate is friends with him, not me. Your candidate's friends with a terrorist.
That's not.
He sits on a board with a terrorist.
First of all, he's not anti-Semitic.
Thank you very much.
Well, he's not anti-Semitic. But this game of guilt by association, I disagree with on all fronts. I will defend Sean against anti-Semitism. He's not anti-Semitic, but I also deplore this game of guilt by association.
Sure.
The people who sat on this board were also Republicans.
Right.
On one of the boards, there was a former president of Northwestern University. Walter Annenberg was a Reagan ambassador who gave his money, who was spent. But, so, I mean, this game of guilt by association is ridiculous. And by the way, the Republicans who want to keep putting this forth, I'll give you a chance to respond in a second. it's not working because Barack Obama, the trend is toward Obama. It hasn't worked. The stuff they flung at him, which is now the kitchen sink, it's a desperate act by a desperate campaign.
Exactly. The John McCain campaign's run out of ideas and they're running out of time. I think they realized the reason they didn't talk about that tonight is because they understand that after 2 or 3 days, that attack doesn't work. People are concerned about the economy. They're worried about keeping their job and keeping their home. They'd rather talk about these big issues.
So what I don't understand is, as a tactician, and you work as a tactician to some regard in the Obama campaign, if you're not winning and things aren't going your way and the narrative you're doing isn't helping you win, change the narrative. This isn't helping. Palin, and McCain is allowing Palin to do this. Well, she started doing it.
Look, I read in the newspaper on Monday, the McCain campaign said, every time we talk about the economy, we lose. They don't want to talk about the economy. But every day Americans are losing their jobs and their homes and their health care. The American people deserve a debate that focuses on the big issues.
Rick Davis of the McCain campaign said this is not even about issues. The campaign's not about issues. They don't want it to be about issues.
They never have and they never will.
Thank you very much, Robert.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate your being here tonight.
Thank you.
And coming up, more insight and analysis.
All right, have a good night.